Hey everyone, it's me, Jasmine. I'm back, and I literally just had my, Disney College Program interview about 2.5 hours ago, and I'm a little bit sad to say that I am a little disappointed with how I did. I think overall I did okay. There were a couple of answers that, in my mind, I really just completely flubbed. So I'm pretty sad about that, and I tried to recover, and I hope that I was able to recover enough to where I would like to be accepted. So Susie, who was my interviewer, if you're watching this, then please know that if I had a second chance, here's what I'd really say to your questions. Okay, one of the questions was first, what was your best work experience? And I answered that fairly well. My best working experience was with FEMA in the Hurricane Sandy recovery and relief efforts in New Jersey. And then the question that I sort of flubbed was, what was your most challenging? And I think I pretty much gave probably the worst answer to that question in the history of the Disney College Program, quite possibly. And I'm not even going to say what I said, but to anybody out there who feels like they may not have done as well as they hoped to on their interview, just please know I can almost guarantee that I did worse than you in at least one question, and that was the question. So here's what I would have said, and would have liked to have said. My most challenging experience is related to my best experience, the Hurricane Sandy relief efforts in New Jersey. When I first arrived, I was booked into a hotel that did not have power. And so it's around 10 o'clock at night, and I was navigating around Trenton, New Jersey, in an area I had never been prior to that, with no lights because the power pole lights on the highways weren't working. Spotty, if any, cell phone coverage, which means that it was working intermittently or not at all. And it was dark, and I couldn't see where I was going, and having difficulties with GPS and my cell phone. That was my most challenging work experience, and that's what I wish I would have said. Yeah, but didn't. But that's okay. I can't go back and answer it again. I wish that I could, but like I said, I tried to recover from it, and hopefully I did. I think overall, I think it was decent. Do I think it was probably the best I've ever heard? No. Do I think it's probably the worst? Probably not. But do I think it's good enough to have me be selected? I hope so. She said I could find out anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, and hopefully it'll be a lot sooner than that, because this is something that I need for graduation from Butler, is an internship. And also because I really would like to know, obviously, if I've been selected as soon as possible. What was the other thing the other question that I don't think oh yes, I remember. I wanted to be honest about an issue that I had, because one of the questions is, do you prefer to work indoors or outdoors? And I have had an issue with the heat in the past, with the past job. And so I had been thinking about that question. I saw on another person's vlog, very, very helpful vlog, the questions that you could anticipate from the phone interview. And this was one of them. And so I thought about it, and I thought I have to be upfront and honest and let them know, obviously, that I have had an issue with the heat, because it is Orlando, Florida, and it does get hot there. And at the same time, I thought, well, it's Orlando, Florida, and it gets hot there, and I'm not the only heat-sensitive person. And Disney probably has heat-sensitive people working for them anyway. And so I thought, let me be 100% honest without saying too much. Sometimes you can just kind of harp on something. And so I thought, let me be upfront and honest about it without harping on it, and then let them make the determination. So I was asked, do you prefer indoor or outdoor? I said indoor. I said, here's the reason why. And I said, with that being said, I have worked in Louisiana in the summer, and I didn't have any issue with the heat. And then she went on to say that if you're offered a role, you could request medical accommodations for the heat. And then she said, so with knowing that, she went on to explain a role, and then she said, okay, and so do you think you would be able to perform the duties of that role? And I said no, and I wish I would have said, well, yes, now that I know that I would be able to receive medical accommodations for the heat, I absolutely do think that I would be able to perform that role. But what I still said was no, because of an overabundance of caution because of the heat. So those are two regrets to answers to the questions that I had. I tried to, obviously, like I said, I tried to save myself in other ways. I went back and said, but I've been to Disney World in February and it wasn't hot, and it really wasn't. And I weighed a lot more than I do now then. And it's not hot in January or February or March, towards the middle of April, and especially I would think May, because I looked up the average temperatures for Orlando for those times. And, that's when I personally feel like I would need to be a little bit careful. And what I wish I would have said also is, that isn't to say that I just can never go outside. I'm not homebound because of the heat. I could stand, excuse me. Sorry. When I learn how to edit, I'm going to edit things like that out. But I wish I would have said that I am certainly open to a role that would position me outdoors for a percentage of the time. So, with that being said, I am glad that I mentioned it. I am glad that I was honest about it. And I'm glad that I said that I do prefer an indoor role. And I'm glad that I said why. Because another person had mentioned to me, well, you're a business student, and what happens if you get selected and they have you down there picking up garbage? And I said, so what if they do? It's Disney World. It's Disney, the Walt Disney Company, one of the most recognized and valuable brands in the world, in the history of the world. And so anything that company teaches me as a business student, I'm blessed and lucky to have learned it from one of the best, if not the best, in that category. And I wanted to explain why I didn't select certain roles like custodial, because I would do custodial, but I just didn't think it would be a good idea to select a role that was 100% outdoors. So I was just trying to explain myself. Obviously, as you can see, I could have worded it better, and I hope I got my point across. And Susie, if by some miracle of communication you happen to see this, the answer to your question, yes. I do think I could perform that role with a medical accommodation to the heat. So thank you very much. Something else that I tried to work on throughout the call, but it could have, I don't know if it still could have been an issue or not, was I have a tendency with my voice to be somewhat monotonous and monotone. And if I notice myself being monotone, I try to perk it up a little bit, but I'm not sure why that is. It's just, I think it's just the tone of my voice, and it's just a skill that I need to develop with not being monotone. So I thought I did okay on that, but that was another thing that I thought I might have been able to do better. And things that I thought I did well on, that I was happy with. I was able to mention Give Kids the World, which is a charity that I absolutely love. It's my favorite charity, and it's in the area, and it's a charity that when a child is sick and makes a wish with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, they stay in this village that was created for them by a Holocaust survivor. And it's hard to describe. It's like a child's paradise. It's ice cream parties and Christmas parties, and it's just so special and so beautiful, and it's something that I've always wanted to be a part of. And so I was able to mention Give Kids the World, and I was able to mention some of my knowledge of the different tickets that they have, which would probably be useful in a vacation planner. I was able to incorporate the skills that I have in using a computer, and which is another necessity for a vacation planner, and obviously my passion and my love for Disney, and my willingness and really I think unique quality or ability to be able to have a personalized experience with the guests, because I've been to Disney World 4 times. I've stayed at 4 different resorts, and I've been to 2 of the ticketed events, and I just think it would be fun. And like I said in the interview, and it's 100% true, it really would be my honor to provide a magical experience to the guests, because I've had that provided to me and my mom, and it's something that I like to do in my everyday life anyway. I love to see the look in people's eyes and see their faces light up when you do nice things for them, especially if it might be unexpected. And for instance, my mom was selected as Veteran of the Day at the Magic Kingdom, and it was such a once-in-a-lifetime experience and a memory of a lifetime, and I really, really would like to be able to do that for our guests, and I think that I would be good at it, very good at it, and I hope I have that opportunity. Talking it out a little bit, I'm a little bit more confident in how I did. I do think I have a unique skill set and perspective that I'd be able to bring to the Disney College program. I hope I'm afforded that opportunity, and I hope to be hearing very, very soon. And I still have my fingers crossed. I'm still a tad disappointed, but I guess now that I've done this vlog, I'm not as disappointed as what I was. And I'm still hoping for the best, so I will let you know as soon as I hear something, and I hope it'll be positive. And we'll just go from there. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything else. So anyways, I hope to be hearing soon. Talk to you later. Bye. Have a good day.